Hi, welcome to the Imperfect Podcast. Nate discusses various topics through the eyes of a young Christian. The goal is to invite others to learn about Christianity through casual conversations with wonderful guests, especially people who want to grow in their faith.
Maybe I want to be the passenger princess. You know what I'm saying? Drive me around.
Before this episode begins, remember that none of us are perfect and that we are here to learn and help each other grow. Feel free to donate to Nate through Cash App at Imperfect Podcast. Make sure to follow the Imperfect Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We hope you take something great away from this episode. Enjoy!
That's sad. The Marvel downfall is so sad.
But it applies to Star Wars too, because I know we're trying to talk about Star Wars. It applies to Star Wars too.
Yeah, let's go into Star Wars.
The original trilogy was so good because once again it was forced out of constriction. George Lucas he didn't direct every single one. He directed the first one, and even when he was writing and directing, he didn't have yes men around him. He had to answer to a studio. What happened?
Have you seen the trailer for The Acolyte?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
I have no idea what's going on. I don't necessarily know about all the lore type of stuff. I just don't care about Star Wars anymore.
Yeah, I unfortunately feel the same way. I mean, the Bad Batch is great. I love that, but anything else, I don't know. It's not the same. Even The Mandalorian is not the same anymore. And I hate it. I don't want to hate Star Wars, but they keep putting out mid. Stop putting out mid. Even Ahsoka. Ahsoka could have been so great, but no. Bro.
The Anakin scenes were elite though.
Okay, but why do we have to rely on Anakin and Darth Vader for your show to be good? Why do we have to keep bringing back old characters for your show to be good? How about you just make a show about the characters in the show instead of bringing someone back from the dead, bringing back Darth Vader for the 1,000th time, so that
or how about we use the same plots? We use the same plots over and over. This guy is traveling with this kid and has to get this kid to a certain location.
Yeah,
that's literally Bad Batch. That's Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that's the Mandalorian.
I hate Kenobi.
Really, literally. Episode 7, copy paste A New Hope. Slight changes.
Yes. Even Kenobi copied a video game for one of its episodes.
Yes. I'm like, what are we?
And what was even Boba Fett? They massacred the character of Boba Fett. Why does Boba Fett care about Kumbaya with the Jawas? No, the Sand People. Boba Fett's supposed to be a ruthless bounty hunter who got eaten by the Sarlacc. I feel like he should come back with a vengeance or something, but no, I'm one of the tribe now. I don't care. I want to be a family man. No, please be true to your characters and stop making mid.
It was the Kumbaya for me.
We're doing a little dancey dance. I'm like, no, this is not my Boba Fett. Like a bantha. No. Not my Boba Fett.
I think I'll forever appreciate Star Wars for its music. Without the music, John Williams, a GOAT.
The GOAT.
Even Rey's theme song, Kylo Ren's theme song, those might be the best parts of the sequels. I'm not gonna lie.
I like the sequel. I don't like episode 9.
Oh, yeah, the last one's horrible.
Episode 9 is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
But, what's it called? The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. The Force Awakens board. The Force Awakens, they had you in the first half, but then all right, yeah.
I love The Last Jedi. I like new stuff.
The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi was just too long for me.
They ruined Luke Skywalker, but other than that, I love that movie. And the Canto Bight planet, that was dumb. But everything else,
that was yeah.
I'm a fan. It looks pretty.
Luke versus what's his name? Luke versus Kylo Ren. That was the first time. Those were one of the first times I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, this is historic right here.
See you around, kid.
Yeah, that was beautiful. But the Rise of Skywalker, yeah, we could have kept that in
They
the vault.
they
Could have
had
kept,
so much to work with. They had so much
bro.
to work with.
But they
They
also
could
had so
have,
much to work against with Carrie Fisher dying.
yeah. But I mean, even then, they
You could have
had
killed her off.
Kylo Ren
Oh, they
killed
did.
off who was supposed to be the emperor of this series, right? They could have made Kylo Ren be this big evil guy, and then we could have had light versus dark again and just have him be evil. Or they could have reversed the roles. They could have had Kylo Ren turn to the light, Rey turn to the dark, and them fight. But no, they just did something. They brought back the emperor. Somehow Palpatine returned.
Man, the Death
Wow.
Star.
Papa memes.
Great
Had
writing,
it.
guys. Great writing.
And they just somehow easily found a Death Star because of some stupid dagger.
Oh yeah. Let's attach Death Stars to Star Destroyers now
Because
because
that makes sense.
yeah, three
They're
Death
trying to
Stars wasn't enough. Let's try doing Death Stars a fourth time, but
because
attach them to ships.
they're trying to do the scene in episode 6. That thing's fully operational. But going back to at least The Force Awakens and thinking about it from a Christian perspective, what I like about that film is that it shows Kylo Ren is being tempted by the light side. And we often see people being seduced by the dark side, but it's the reverse. And I feel like us as Christians, there are times because think about this way. Kylo Ren knew the light side. Then he went to the dark and then he came back to the light. That's us as Christians something. Think of David. David was the man after God's own heart. He was a child after God's own heart. And then he said, "Oh, look, Bathsheba. Oh, I know her husband. We got that taken care of." But then he comes back in Psalm 51 where he says, "Create in me a new heart. Against you, I sinned. You are justified to condemn me." And that's kind of the same thing that Kylo Ren has. He literally has a eureka moment, a aha moment in the beginning of Force Awakens where he's talking to his father and he says, "I know what I need to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it." And then that moment is replicated in Rise of Skywalker, one of the only good scenes in that gosh darn movie, where he says they have the exact same conversation. And he says, "I know what I need to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it." And this time he throws away his lightsaber. But before, he done stabbed his dad. Now I'm not saying we stab our fathers because of sin. However, oh, I mean, yeah, we stab our Holy Father in the back because God is perfect before we sin against anyone else, before I sin against myself, before I sin against you, before I sin against you, we sin against God because he's perfect. He's flawless. He's without fault. So hurting him is a lot different than hurting one another. Not saying we should, but that's what one thing from a Christian perspective I liked about that film, even though I don't necessarily like the sequel trilogy. I like incentive, especially in the context of what we're talking about as Christians watching film. I really enjoy that, and I really don't like it. And I know I've seen videos of like where people just crap all over secular movies and they're like, "Oh, if there's just an ounce of bad, where's the good?" I'm like, is that not the Bible? I'm not saying the Bible is bad, but I'm saying it's full of murder and death and sexual immorality and rape, this and this, that. Oh my goodness, it's not an easy book to read. You think of what happens with Lot and his daughters, where he's like, "Yo, y'all can have my daughters." And you're like, "Wait, what? Huh?" And then later on, they say, "You take advantage of us. Oh, we gonna take advantage of you." There's so many morally gray things in the Bible, and so when we're like, "Oh, film shouldn't reflect that," really? But the Bible does? Once again, the Bible is perfect. This is the word of God right here. So I'm not trying to say that film is anywhere near the level of holy and respect, but I'm just trying to say that we can't live, once again, as Romans 12:2 says, that we do not be conformed to this world. You need to know the world in order to know what to dodge and bob and weave like Mike Tyson.
If we're gonna talk about Star Wars in the Bible real quick, let me cook.
All right.
Darth Vader, Darth Vader represents the life of a Christian, because he starts off as Anakin Skywalker and he's doing good and he's in the light. Like think about when you first get into the word, right? Okay, you're into it. Yeah, I'm a new Christian. I'm gonna read my Bible. But then there comes a time where we turn away from God for a little bit. It always ends up happening. Anakin turns to the dark side and becomes Darth Vader, and he's killing kids, and he's killing other Jedi, and he's just Darth Vader's just doing a whole bunch of stuff. But then, Luke comes along, and then specifically in episode 6, Luke's trying to get Darth Vader to turn back to the light, and Darth Vader starts to feel that pull just a little bit. Luke's trying to get him back, but Darth Vader's like, no. But then, all the way at the end of the movie, when Luke is getting electrocuted and he's dying, and he's like, Father, help me. Darth Vader, he realizes what he has done. We realize our sin, and then it's time for us to turn back to the light. Darth Vader saves his son, and he becomes Anakin Skywalker again. And that is just beautiful to me. It's poetry.
But it's the story of the prodigal son. That's literally
Yes.
what it is. Think of Thor. Okay, the movie, not just the character. And I'm not trying to give this YouTube channel away because I'm not trying to hate on them, especially not on someone else's platform. But they were like, so okay, think of the scene when Thor literally gets cast out of heaven, like Satan.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, it's satanic. It's satanic. Just no, in the Bible, Jesus says, I saw Satan fall like lightning. Last time I checked, like is a simile. That doesn't mean he literally fell as lightning, but it's a simile. It's painting imagery. Anyway, but when Thor comes on Earth, it's a humility. He's being humbled. And that's sometimes just as people, not just as Christians, but as people, we got to get humbled. God humbles us. The Hebrew says that God chastises his children. He punishes those that aren't his children, but he chastises us. He wants us to be better. And that's what Odin did to his son. He wanted his son to be better because he knew what his son was destined for. He was supposed to be the king. So you see this story of how Thor is literally the prodigal son coming back home. And then Loki is the jealous brother. Well, where's my ring? Where's the fattened cat for me? Huh? Huh? And don't get me wrong, Odin, he's not a good dad. Don't get me wrong. You got 3 kids that all went buck wild. However, um, I just don't understand when people are just saying, and I understand to an extent, but everything is not like la 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 type of thing. Once again, Romans 1, you can find God everywhere. Now, I'm not saying you need to be watching demonic stuff and looking for God. That's a big no-no. Like any movie with Ouija boards or possession, anything like that, I think not. Like that I know going into is like that. I don't watch that stuff. I don't even entertain it. However, stuff like what we just mentioned, I don't necessarily see the harm. Do I necessarily agree with every decision that every character makes in these things? No. And Jeff, I know you wrote a script. You can attest to that probably that you write characters that you don't agree with, but they don't need to be every single aspect of this character needs to be a reflection of you. Maybe they could have aspects of you, but you're one guy. You can't make every character like you. Or I can't make every character like Jesus. I want them to be like Jesus, but if I'm going to relate and be like, hey, this is what happens, and maybe I can relate it to Christ and the coming to Christ and be like, I'm imperfect. I need a Christ. I need a savior. What? Come on.
I think it's funny that you mentioned that you don't write characters that are always like you. Spoiler alert for a movie that I'll make in the next 10 to 15 years. I wrote this character that is a drug addict, and it's like in the future. So like there's like elemental abilities and whatnot, and he uses lightning, and he gets so high that like he kind of like becomes lightning, and he just kind of blanks out and kills an entire hotel full of people. And I wouldn't do that, but it's a story. You gotta add, gotta add stuff to the story. Give him a redemption arc. But yeah, no demonic activity. I wouldn't recommend putting that in your story. No, no, no. That's a little too far.
Definitely not.
Yeah, no.
In the prequels, I really like how the Emperor and Anakin, like, I really like how that's depicted because from a young boy, Qui-Gon finds Anakin. He's like, this guy's the chosen one. I don't know the lore, but at some point, the Emperor finds out about Anakin. He's like, I need this guy because he's the chosen one. He's powerful. And as Anakin gets older, starting at episode two, you see that he has the dreams of his mother dying. And then he goes, he does what he did. He killed all the younglings, and all the women.
But not just the
Uh,
women, or but not just the
and
men.
I
then
mean, but the
and then
women
episode
and
three,
the children too.
episode three, you see in the beginning, the Emperor is like, when he has Count Dooku, like he has him at the feet. He's like, kill him. And he knows Jedi don't kill like that. And he just chops his head off.
Mhm.
So you see, he's a little dabble with the dark side. He has a little dabble with sin. And you can see like he's confused about that moment. But throughout episode three, you just see the Emperor creeping in and creeping in on this chosen one that's on the light side. You see him using visions, dreams. He's like, Anakin, come to this show with me. Anakin, come talk to me. Kind of creepy. Uh,
He's grooming him.
he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's telling him, come to the dark side subtly. He's disguised as an ally. Sound familiar? He's disguised as an ally, tempting him to do wrong. He's using visions. He's taking advantage of his love for Padme. He's using his power. He's like, Anakin, I know you have these visions. I can save you. It's so easy. All you have to do is give in to the power of the dark side because it's so easy to go into the dark side. Just like with Christians, it's so easy to dabble into the world and go into the worldly feelings. The devil uses people that are just like us to go against our downfall. He uses our dreams. He uses the voices in our heads. People think people think Satan looks like some guy, some red guy with horns and a pitchfork, when he looks just like you and I. He sounds just like you and I. He sounds just like the voice in your head that tells you, good job for reading the Bible today. He sounds like that voice that says it's okay to just have a sip, have one hit of this blunt. That's just like the Emperor. I love what it shows. And the beauty of the Star Wars story is you see how you fall into sin, turn to Darth Vader, then that little tug of light, little tug of God brings you back to where
Yes.
you're supposed to be and fulfill your destiny, serve your purpose. As a
Right. That's
Christian, as a Christian, life is supposed to get harder. Anakin joins the Jedi. Things got worse for him. Lost his mom, fell to the dark side, lost Padme, lost his body, was a slave to the Emperor. But then it got easier once he defeated the Emperor, defeated the dark side, knew his son and his daughter were safe, was freed from the dark side, and died happily. Joined Obi-Wan and Yoda as Force Ghosts. Total life of a Christian displayed in one beautiful story.
right. And it also
And
shows
then
it's never too late. My bad, Jeff. But
if you did.
it shows that it's never too late because Vader, like Luke is trying to say like, "Hey, Dad, like come back," and he's like, "It's too late for me, son." But when his back is against the wall, when the chips are down, he returns for the sake of his son. Uh, and then Luke, when he Vader now Anakin, he's in certain versions with that big old eyebrows, even though he got burnt to a crisp. Different conversation. But he's like, I have to save you. I forget exactly what he says, but he's like, you already have. He said, tell your sister you were right about me. And that's the thing about God. It's never too late. There are times where you might think, man, I can't. How can I said this yesterday actually at church? I'm like, how can God save me? But spoiler alert, he became you on that cross so you could be saved. You couldn't save yourself. You couldn't save yourself. And going back to destiny, yes, we are predestined to do. Now, God's not a puppet master, as some people like to think. He's like, oh, I'm going to control you and you have no choice. No, we were created, we were designed to do good works. However, it's our choice to follow in the steps that God has already made for us. Order my steps in your words, dear Lord. Lead me, guide me every day. That's not just a song, it comes from the Bible. And so you can live a difficult life. I'm not saying being a Christian is easy, but like think of Vader. Vader was in constant pain because this suit is like not comfortable. Thus, it's filling its rays, making it more powerful, sure. And on this earth, you might be doing things that make you more powerful, but at the end of the day, I mean, I forget who said that. I think it's J. Cole, but it's also in the Bible. But you can't take money with you when you die. No, that was gosh darn, Ray Shrimmer. But yeah, you can't take money with you when you die. You can't take all this power and stuff with you when you die. So, and shoot, I was gonna say something. Oh, the Jedi are hypocrites. Okay, even though we talk about, oh, the Jedi are kind of like, oh, the good people. Man, think of the church as well. I could compare the Jedi to the church, where sadly we live in a world where the church is full of hypocrites. Nate, I know you talked about this on your previous episode. Go check it out, where you talk about false prophets and all this stuff. But it's full of hypocrites. They say, oh, don't do this, don't do that. But on the side, you were doing this, you were doing that. The Jedi built a temple on top of a Sith temple. That's crazy. Imagine building a church on top of like a satanic graveyard. Come on. Oh, Jesus.
I was gonna say something along those lines. I was about to say like the devil uses the ones nearest to you. Like Anakin thought he could trust the Jedi, but if you look at it, the Jedi are the reason that Anakin became Darth Vader. If he could be allowed to have connections and feel love, he would have been allowed to go save his mother when he had those visions 2 weeks prior. He would have been able to go save her before she died. If he could have been allowed to actually fall in love and have a wife, he could have told someone, oh my gosh, I'm having these visions about Padme dying in childbirth, and they could have helped him. But no, the Jedi are like, hey, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. And then what happens? Anakin tries to go to other means, and he's a Sith now. Anakin really
Whoops.
had no friends at all in this whole entire conflict, and then his entire life he's just spent suffering. Like you said, there's this really good Vader novel where like talks about what he's going through and like how like his retinas are constantly burning and like his lungs it hurts to speak. And the Emperor, the suit that he put him in, he used old technology to punish him for losing, and he made it out of a material that if he shoots him with force lightning, it would be extremely lethal to him. And like this guy, Vader, he's just walking around just doing the Emperor's bidding because he has nothing else to do. And when he's alone, all he does is think about his dead wife. And he's just such a sad guy. But he turns to the light in the end. Go Vader. Love that guy.
But also, you talking about how he has no friends. His closest friend constantly lied to him. He wasn't
Yeah.
honest with Anakin was more honest with Ahsoka than Obi-Wan was with Anakin. Because Anakin, he was like, yeah, I bend the rules sometimes, and I like how Ahsoka acknowledges Anakin as her older brother. And I really like the scene when Ahsoka is leaving the order and he says, you don't understand that I've wanted to leave the order so many times. And she says, I know. And she leaves. You know, but he never really had that relationship with Obi-Wan because Obi-Wan was also scolding him. Yes, master. I'll try, master. I'll do better, master. It's Obi-Wan's fault. He's holding me back. Type of stuff. Like Obi-Wan in certain cases, yes, he was right, but when he was like, "You met Satine, I harbored feelings for." Man, tell him more. Like, stop lying. Stop beating around the bush. Because and this is another thing, Christians, because I've been there when you tell people what you're struggling with, it's going to help them too. Because let's just say I've had several people in my circle who have told me that they were struggling with certain things. I'm like, really? You struggle with that too? Or you struggle differently, but you struggle? Really? You feel me? I remember my pastor said, he said, pray for me too. I need prayer too. I'm like, you're right. You are just the dude. You are just the guy. You know, you are the guy at church, but you are just the guy. You bleed flesh and blood. Just like you need a savior. Just like I said this yesterday at church. I literally said, people ask me, Zoe, how do you do this? I need a savior just like you. I am not special, and that's what Anakin needed. If Anakin had someone to talk to him and be like, "Hey, dude," and stop people having holding me back, you know, half the stuff that happened because he didn't hold back against some younglings. Let me tell you that. I can't. I just need to say this. That video you did with Obi-Wan Kenobi and your brother said, he's like, there's a half off, there's a half off sale and you're on sale. I was on the floor laughing for too long talking about Darth Maul. Anyway, that's another person you could talk about Jesus and all that stuff. Darth Maul. Oh my
Darth Maul
goodness.
went through a lot. He went through a lot. He was
Oh
literally a
Jesus.
slave since birth to Palpatine, which is kind of insane. Wow.
Right, and then his master but that's Satan, bro. That's what Satan does to you, bro.
Yeah,
You're a slave since birth. And then he's like, mercy, mercy. He's like, there is no
there
mercy,
is no
boy. Don't you
mercy.
get it? Electrocute, electrocute, electrocute. That's Satan. That's what he does to you. There ain't no mercy with Satan, bro. He'll make you think that you your friend until it's no longer convenient.
Mm-hmm.
As the Rock says, let me spit some gospel. Let me drop some gospel on you. No.
That's why I like Maul in Star Wars Rebels, where he's kind of like, I wouldn't call him a gray Jedi because he's not a good guy, but like he's not
Oh
a
no.
Sith either. He's just bro really wants to kill Obi-Wan. And I'm glad he has the dedication all these years later, but it's interesting to see he has this one line where like, the Jedi did this to me, the Sith betrayed me. He has no one but his lust for revenge left for him. It's
He the
crazy.
chosen one. He is.
He
He will
is
avenge us.
poetic. Poetic.
Sam Witwer, man. And another thing you could talk about the episode, I think it's in season 4 of the Clone Wars, even though Clone Wars is out of order. With the son, the daughter, and the father.
Mhm.
That
Oh yeah, that
episode
is very much
is
biblical.
for those of you, because I feel like we like with everything else we're saying, but this one is very deep. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka end up somewhere. They don't know where. Nobody can find them. And you have the son who's represents kind of the dark side. You have the daughter who represents the light side, and you have the father who's kind of like the in between. And Anakin's the chosen one, and he has to deal with basically putting both of them in place. You know, there's one scene he says, "On your knees," you know, and there's a lot of temptation going on. Like, for example, the son shows Anakin the future. What if I could show you the future? You know, and he sees himself become Darth Vader, and he says, "I do such terrible things." And the son says, "We can work together to overthrow this emperor." That's what Satan does, bro. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do so. I don't want to displease God, you know." And so he'd be like, "Well, you could do this sin, and you." Let me just tell y'all, I was struggling in a certain area, and I was like, "Well, it's better than doing this." That's what Satan, and that's the same thing with Anakin. Oh, me going after Obi-Wan and saying, "I'm sorry, I just need to do this," is better than becoming Darth Vader. Drop some knowledge on you.
Drop some knowledge. Bro, Maul was like tangent. He was genuinely trying to like stop the Emperor in season 7. And
He said,
it's
"Let me
so
die!"
sad. It's so sad. Like he really knew and no one will believe him. And then look what happens. I know he was like, I told y'all. Told y'all this was about to happen.
He was legit begging these people, "Let me die! Let me
Yes.
die!" I was like, dang. He's like, "We're all doomed." I'm like, he was not wrong.
He wasn't
Because
wrong at
half the
all.
people there that day did not make it.
Nope.
That was a very sad scene at the end with the clones. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I was just
Yeah.
like, Ahsoka, just kill them. Like for me, like they're gonna die anyway. Let your face be the last one they see instead of,
Yeah.
well, we're gonna crash. That's crazy.
All right, y'all ready for the fun part?
Can I
Let's
add
have some
one
fun.
Bible verse real quick?
Yes.
So this will be real quick, but this is on topic of pop culture. Um, it's in First Kings chapter 3. And I won't read the whole thing because it's a long story, but basically talking about Solomon. Solomon is dealing with these two mothers, and one talks about how one killed her child and then took the other one, something like that. And the other one's like, "No, that's my child." And then he's like, "Okay, let's just cut it in half, and you know, y'all get to share half your kid." And so the real mother's like, "No, don't do that." And the fake mother's like, "Yeah, let's do that." And so he figures out, okay, I know who the mom is. I say this because I think it's in Recess or some show where there's literally a scene where that happens, where kid is on a playground or something, and he's the king, and they're like, no, that's my toy. And she's like, no, that's my toy. He's like, okay, if it really is your toy, let's just split it in half and y'all can both share. The same thing happens. And this is what I mean by Romans 1. God is everywhere. If you look closely, now don't look once again to the demonic stuff. Don't do that because you're gonna find him in the wrong way. But really, it's a I don't know. It's just it's like listening to Christian music and then you hear a Bible verse and then you're like, oh shoot, they just quoted a whole scripture. It's an Easter egg.
Hmm. All right. And that was the verse I was referring to earlier about Solomon. Uh,
Yeah,
now going to get into the questions. If you haven't watched before, I am at episodes by asking my guests 10 questions to get to know them better, so I can get to know them better too. I said that wrong. So y'all can get to know them, and so I can get to know them better. Uh, Jeff, we'll go for you first. Um, how many movies have you watched in your lifetime?
Let me pull up the letterbox to get the exact number. I know it is. I think it's more than 550. I think. Um, 584
in your lifetime.
in my lifetime, and 40 of those have been this year.
40. That's insane.
Yeah.
Um, wow. What's
That's crazy.
your favorite and least favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh, that's actually pretty easy. Favorite Revenge of the Sith. Obviously, it's. I don't know why you don't like Revenge of the Sith. It is fantastic. So
It's
many
not that I don't like it.
memes. Final
It's just not
battle
the
is
best.
great. Music is great. The bad acting is great. Um, yeah, Revenge of the Sith. Least favorite, Rise of Skywalker is utter garbage.
You
Very
told me that you killed younglings.
I don't want to hear any more about that Obi-Wan.
The Jedi turned against me. Don't you turn against me
You
too.
turn against me.
I love you.
But yeah, Rise of Skywalker is very much garbage. One of my few 1 out of 10 movie reviews.
1 out of 10. That's crazy.
Yes. Maybe two.
What? Who's your favorite director?
That is hard.
I'm gonna say Scorsese.
Oh,
It's
Christopher
yeah.
Nolan.
I don't know. I go back and forth all the time. Um, I mean, I've always said this. I really love Tarantino because I feel like if I were to make movies, it would Tarantino shenanigans is the kind of stuff that I would make. But yeah, I guess I'll go with that. But I mean, I love him. I love Scorsese so much. I love Nolan. There's this French director from like the 60s, 70s, I think. His name is Jean-Luc Godard. Love him. He is one of the greatest of all time. But yeah, I go with those. And Damien Chazelle. That's the guy that made La La Land and Whiplash. Love that guy's
Oh,
style.
he did both of those films? Shoot.
Yeah,
That makes sense. I really love Whiplash.
yeah.
Not my tempo.
Not quite my tempo.
I think I
Are you
know the
rushing or
answer, Joe.
dragging?
Who's your favorite superhero?
Batman.
I knew it. What does a perfect day look like for you?
Perfect day. Um, Ideally, I'd wake up after getting a great 8 hours of sleep.
Now,
Wake up at 6:15, go to the gym, do anything except legs. Um, get some breakfast.
Y'all hate
I
leg day, man.
I do, but I
I
need to do it more
love, I
anyway.
love leg day.
It's all right, I guess. Get a nice breakfast. I love omelets. I love bagels. Get them both. Get a nice good breakfast. And then during the day, I want to be productive. Get some work done. Homework, YouTube, do something with your day. And then in the evening, hop on the game with the boys. And all throughout the day, listen to a whole bunch of music because I'm just a boy who loves music.
Sean may or may not be in Discord right now.
Actually,
Yes. Uh, what do you hope to accomplish by the end of the year?
It's film.
yes, my short film. I'm gonna dream big here and say 1,500 subs on the channel. Um, I don't really know. I wanna be productive. I hope that I can on December 31st, I can look back on the year and be like, yeah, I did something with my time this year and I'm proud of myself.
Um, what's your favorite show?
Uh, okay, I'm
I
gonna
was
split this up here.
I was expecting
If
a
we're gonna
bear off rip.
no. This is top three. If we're talking like if I can disconnect shows and sitcoms, right? If we're talking shows, Breaking Bad easily is my number one.
Mm.
If we're talking sitcoms, which is my favorite genre of show, The Office. I've watched all 11 seasons of The Office, like
I'm gonna pray for
thir-
you.
13 times.
Parks and Rec is better.
The Office is better. The Office has Michael Scott. It's better.
The Parks
He
and Rec
said
has Ron
13
Swanson.
times.
It does have Ron Swanson.
We're just gonna
Uh,
ignore the 13 times though.
Oh yeah,
hey,
we're just gonna ignore that. That's it's rookie
Speed right
numbers.
past it.
hey,
Rookie numbers, honestly.
we do crazy things in life. I think I know the answer. Who's your favorite actor?
Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
But like on a serious note, if we're talking about like all time, Leonardo DiCaprio. But like currently, I'm a big Ryan Gosling fan.
You just can.
He's just can, and that's
Uh,
okay.
what's your least favorite movie? Let me put it this way. What's the worst
Um,
movie you've ever seen in your lifetime?
that's what I'm
Absolutely
trying to think of.
disgusting. Absolutely disgusting cinema.
Absolutely disgusting cinema. I have a couple. I have one in mind. Let me let me look at the movies that I've given like a 1-star review, so
Oh,
I
is
can
he gonna
get.
say Rebel Moon?
It's not that,
I saw you
bro.
crap
My
on
my
that movie.
comment section was hating on me because like I clickbaited and it worked because 1,000 people watched the video, but I clickbaited and said this is the worst movie ever, and they were like, "You must have not watched that many movies before if this is the worst movie you've ever watched."
You'd be
My
like, I'm getting my
bad.
degree in it. Come on now.
Thank you, please.
Wait, have you
Okay,
seen The
let me lock
Room?
in. No, I haven't.
Have you heard about that movie?
No,
It's probably because you talking about the worst. It's probably one of the worst films of all time. We can talk about it later on because we talking about you. We could talk about it after. Remind me to tell you about The Room because that
I got
movie
you.
is hilariously bad. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. My dad's
Okay.
watching this. He'll know what that means.
I'm gonna give like a top 3 worst movies I've ever seen in my life. The Star Wars holiday special,
Oh my goodness.
um, the Little Panda Fighter, and the Fantastic Four with Michael B.
Oh,
Jordan.
that was
Fan
horrible.
four
Oh my
stick.
goodness. That
That was
was
bad cinema.
disgusting.
That
Can't believe
Fan
they
was
four
put
stick.
can't believe they put Doom in there, bro. Can't believe that.
I
horrible
can't.
Can't believe
cinema,
that.
actually.
Can't believe that.
Think
The Little
Fox got
Panda
bought.
Fighter is a horrible movie, but I think everybody should watch it at least once in their life. It's a excellent bad movie.
That's interesting.
So bad it's good.
Oh, last
So
question.
bad it's good.
What do you do when you need to escape reality?
I either turn on a movie that's matching up with my mood, or I play one of my 7 playlists titled Awesome Mix. I have Awesome Mix all the way up to volume 7. I put one of those on, put my headphones in noise cancellation mode, and just vibe out.
Okay, Guardians reference.
It is. Thank you. Thank you for someone who gets it. Yes. I stole little side what is this? Little KingBeam lore, if you will, for the podcast.
Yapping. Cat
Yes,
food.
it's
Or what do you
little
call it?
Japanese, if you will.
Japanese.
Yapwando. Before like June of 2023, I was just always like listening to rap hip hop. But then I watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and I was like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy has some great songs. So then I made a new playlist titled Awesome Mix Volume 1, and I got like all of the songs from all the Guardians movies. And then from there, I just started like expanding my music taste. And now I barely listen to rap anymore. It's kind of insane. I just be listening to like Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's this really great band called Laundry Day. Silver, great band. I love Elton John. Um, ABBA. Dancing Queen is one of the greatest songs ever created of all time, and I will die on that hill. But yeah, that's just some King Beam lore for the viewers back home, if you care about me and my music taste.
Word.
Whoa. Well, your turn, Zoe. Oh, those are Sean's questions. I don't need those.
Huh? So you're irrelevant right now.
Shout out Sean
Um,
being 2-0, missing the imperfect podcast.
That
yeah. He's supposed to be in the next one. Will that happen? Find out next time on the Imperfect Podcast.
find out next time on Sean's first
Zoe,
appearance.
what is your favorite gospel song?
Oh shoot. Ooh.
Was it me?
Okay. Let me look at my playlist. That's crazy. Insert
Hard
copyright.
to hit that it was me.
I'm looking at my playlist. Oh, there's so many good ones.
Shout out to Anthony Brown and First Baptist Church of Glenarden.
I have 2 playlists. I have Christian rap / R&B and Yeshua. I'm not gonna choose the rap because that doesn't count because you said gospel.
You can
Um,
choose a rap song if you want.
oh, okay. But I don't even know if I would choose a rap song either. Um, A New Thing by Madison Ryan Ward. It's a good song. It just encompasses my whole experience, especially with like rededicating my life last year to Christ and trying to be like, hey, the stuff that I used to do and even I might still struggle with, that's not me. So yeah, I'm a new creature in Christ, and I'm what God says I am.
Amen.
As my pastor says, holla back at your boy. No.
Yeah, Minister
He's gonna
Bailey.
kill me, bro.
Yeah, Stefan.
I'm gonna show him this. Like, stop talking about me. My ears are tired of burning.
If you were given $1 billion, what would you do with it?
A billion
Gosh.
dollars. You
I gotta
know,
switch up the value for each guest, bro.
the first thing I thought about, because I know you mentioned this one time, is tithes. You know, give it to my church. Man, my church gonna be a mega church after that. Like, you know, we gonna work on some sound equipment, like give all that money, some sound equipment, some we got nice chairs, but maybe some even nicer chairs, help out in the booth type thing. Shoot. Yeah. That um I buy me and my mom a house type thing. And I would have a room. Or you know what? Well, I'm an only child, so I don't want my mom to be alone. So, you know, she could have a nice house and I could have like a house like be like Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds where they live like across the street from each other. We could do that type of thing. Um in my house or whatever, even if I live with my mom, I have like a studio, music studio, you feel me, with my friend. Shout out to my little bro Makai, helping me with my music, by the way. Um, I don't know what else. Probably like a dope comic book collection type thing. I mean, I already have a dope comic book collection, but I can't display all of it in this small room. Something like that. I would buy some books about the Bible too, because I'm trying to do some more stuff like that. Yeah,
What show are you currently binging?
none, but I watch a lot of YouTube. Um, you know what? I wouldn't say I'm binging it because it's coming out weekly, but X-Men 97, I've been watching that. And that's like the first show in forever that I actually am staying up to date on. At least first like, excuse me, first like Disney Plus type thing. I guess also Raw and SmackDown for WWE. Because those are like the only like that's the only thing I watch on television type thing. So I'm watching those, and WrestleMania is coming up by the time this comes out, it's already passed. But I'm hyped for WrestleMania.
How about right now we add a show to your list to binge, so then you can talk about it on
That's
your
crazy.
channel and you have more content.
What are we adding?
Have you seen The Bear?
Oh my
No, and
gosh.
I knew you were gonna say that, and I actually
Let's
been thinking
go.
about watching it.
Do it.
Oh
It's
my
short.
You know,
gosh.
All the episodes are like 20 minutes.
a
It's
show I
really
used to
good.
binge, a show I used to binge was Smallville, and then I just stopped at season 4. I don't know why. I just stopped. But that show was
Just stopped. That's kind of sad.
Bro, it's 10 seasons. And there's just like foolishness. I'm like, I can't do it after a certain point.
Well, not a lot of foolishness going on in The Bear. It's just straight
No,
Look,
action
no,
and
no.
look,
plot
I want to watch it.
and
And I really like the actor who
cooking.
was in Iron Claw that's in that show, right?
My boy,
What's
I
his
don't
name?
even know his real
Jeremy.
name.
I
Jeremy
think
Allen
it's,
White.
yeah.
Yes.
Love that dude in
Good looking
Iron
guy.
Claw. He is. I ain't gonna lie.
God blessed him with a great gift of face.
That's crazy.
It's ironic that I typed this question after this question. What's your favorite anime?
Ooh. It's Naruto because Attack on Titan let me down. Sorry, Jeff. And don't get me wrong, Naruto is full of like doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, like flashback for no reason type of stuff. There we go again, Naruto on the swing. There we go again. Uh uh Sasuke having flashback to when he got whooped by Itachi. Like we get it. But Attack on Titan just really let me down with the ending. So much stuff didn't make sense. And as my mom says, and I never knew she said this until like a week ago, make it make sense. So for that reason, is Naruto perfect? No. But it just hits. I watched it in high school. I watched all of it in between my freshman and sophomore year of high school. So, it hits me right in the feels.
Um, I think you should actually watch the ending instead of just going off the manga because it's a slightly different
I'll
ending.
I'll watch it,
And
but
have you seen Vinland Saga?
yeah.
Ah, okay. I was gonna tell
See,
you to
that's
watch
another
it.
thing. Talk about Jesus. Hey, Thorfinn, he's learning about Jesus right
Yes.
now in the show.
Yes.
Spoilers.
I love
I
that
have
guy.
no enemies.
I have no enemies. Peak. This guy named Kangas Speed made a video on that. If you want to watch, by the
Yes,
way,
he did, and I did watch it.
viewers, good video.
Well,
Good
I
video.
watched it. I'm a subscriber. I don't know
You
if you
should be.
subscribe to my channel, Black Homies Pop Culture, but you know,
I do. I do. I do. I am currently a subscriber.
good to hear.
What's your favorite season?
Ooh, see, winter, spring. No, let me shut up. If y'all know Avatar, that's where that's from. Um, it used to be winter, but I'm kind of like fed up with the winter. But I'm just gonna say winter, but right now it's kind of changing. I was born in the winter, so it's the best season. It's the face Jeff made, man.
Hey man, it's cold outside. I don't like that.
Not at all.
Well, it just brings back childhood memories of me and my dad shoveling snow. I threw a y'all got okay, Nate, at least you're gonna be proud of me. Oh wait, no, I did it. No. Okay, we were at church. It always happens at church. And somebody whose name shall not be mentioned, man, was trying to throw a snowball at me because I threw a snowball at him. And so I used my pastor as a shield. Lord Jesus, thank you, hallelujah. Use the holy man as a shield. Thank you, Jesus.
That
And
poor
I got him
man.
back. He said, that poor man. He was fine. He was my shield, and I got E-Man back.
Yeah, poor pastor.
That is crazy.
Mm, Wait, what is hmm, what is your dream job?
My dream job, being a professional singer, the one tour type thing. Sing without getting nervous. Sing like Justin Bieber. He's probably one of my favorite vocalists. I think Justin Bieber's kind of underrated. Like people are like, oh, Justin Bieber, but his runs are crazy.
I've always wanted to start a band. I want to learn to play the electric guitar
Hey,
and
I play
start a
guitar.
band.
It's somewhat
Give me some auto
fire.
tune. I can be your vocalist.
Let's do it.
I can be your Giveon to your I don't know any guitars. I don't know.
I just want to get on stage and be like, we're all like, you know,
Be like in My Hero when they were doing that festival thing and they
yeah,
were all
yeah,
Bakugo on the drums.
yeah.
Um, 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 what is your favorite book besides Bible or comics?
Oh my goodness, I was about to pull the book out. Look, look, look. But it's a comic book, so he was like, let me stump her real good. Um,
I knew it was gonna be a comic.
he was gonna be Watchmen. Yo, my favorite book. That's tough. 'Cause I haven't read a lot of books recently. Like I'm listening to one right now. Um, I used to read a lot when I was younger too. Um, like the first one that came to mind was like, okay, I enjoyed To Kill a Mockingbird, but I haven't read it in 8 years. But I remember that was like one of the first books I enjoyed reading in school. But another book I enjoyed reading in school was The Absolutely True Story of a Part-Time Indian. It's a really good book. It's really sad, but um it's crazy. And I talk about it on my podcast. I remember chapter 4 of that book, we were supposed to read it. Our teacher was supposed to read it out loud, and then she realized what the chapter was about. She's like, "Okay, you guys can read this to yourselves." And I'll read the next chapter out loud. Good times, but I would say that for now.
Man, it's funny. What's your favorite book of the Bible?
My favorite books. He just keep asking me hard questions. I don't like this.
That's the
I would
point. That's
s-
the point. That's the point.
I would say John. Oh, yeah. Because I actually said this on our episode. I asked you what your favorite was, and I would say John is my favorite book. It's my favorite gospel. If we're going to talk about a favorite epistle, I would say Hebrews. Favorite epistle of Paul's, I would say First Corinthians. But specifically, just John. Favorite Old Testament book, Daniel.
If you're stranded on an island, what five things would you bring?
The Holy Word, you feel me? Um, shoot, five things. Okay, so I said the Bible. Um, music, because I would get bored. Give me like some streaming stuff. Like let's assume we have Wi-Fi and I could just watch whatever and whatever on my phone. So I guess my phone too. And like food, I guess. Or do the essentials count? Does like food, clothes, and water, does that count or no?
I want specific foods and specific articles
The
of clothing.
foods don't count because you're gonna be stranded on the island. You're gonna have to like, hunt your food down, go fishing, things of that nature, drink from the beach water, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, let's just assume we already have all that stuff taken care of. Okay, so I said Bible, my phone, music. I forgot what the other one was.
Hey, you can bring some snacks if you want.
Yeah, sure. Let's bring some, I don't know, some Chick-fil-A, you know. Jesus' favorite sandwiches. Let me stop. Um, I don't know. If some comic books. A specific one? Watchmen, that's my book. We could watch it all, I mean, we could read it all the time.
Oh, this is your last question. What's your biggest goal for this year?
Um, Finish a song that I'm working on. It's almost done. I just gotta do some doubles, get it copyrighted, put it out. Yeah. I mean, like, I got my degree in the mail, my associates in the mail, and that was just like that was last year, but that was just like a big like I did it type of thing. So thank you. So I just think this year is kind of like working on me. Like that's for me, but also like my career type of thing. But this year I think it's building myself back up. And I think with this song, it's kind of doing that. It's focusing on me, what I like and what I like sonically and the lyrics and all that stuff. And it's dedicated to a friend of mine. So hey.
So that wraps up the questions. So before we end it, anything y'all want to say on the topics about life, anything?
Um, if you're ever sad, watch Star Wars and be happy. And Darth Vader is one of the greatest fictional characters to ever exist, ever in the history of media. And I love him. And shout out to my dog Jax.
What you
He
meant
loves
to
him
say
so much so that
was
my bad,
you meant
go
to say
ahead.
watch the Imperfect podcast, but go ahead, Zoe.
I was gonna say he loves Darth Vader so much so that he did a whole video on it on his YouTube channel, King X
I
Beam.
did. I did indeed.
Shameless plug. My final thoughts? Jesus is all around us, and there's no better day than today to accept him as your Lord and Savior. He saved me, he can save you.
That's
I'm
gonna, oh
crying.
my gosh, this guy. This
This
guy.
is my dog Jax, guys. He's so
It was
cute.
I had it all or like, not
Yeah.
prophetic, but all like Jesus, and then he said, "You see my dog?"
Yeah, that's the thumbnail, I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I was thinking.
That's the
You
thumbnail.
see my dog? My dog. Oh,
Jax has
Jesus.
touched the Imperfect podcast. for
Yes.
Sean.
Oh wait,
Um,
I got the perfect thing for y'all. I got the perfect thing to cap it off. Hold on. I gotta get it. Hold on. I got you beat. It's Jesus taking the wheel.
We
Don't
gotta
ask
make
me why
some
I
kind
had
of
that.
like we gotta make some kind of condition. If Sean doesn't show up to the next one, then something happens. I don't know. The Imperfect Podcast. I don't know. You eat canes in the next episode if Sean doesn't show up.
I wish there was a Canes around me. I guess I could settle for Zaxby's or better yet, Bojangles.
Bro's in love with the
Uh,
Bojangles. I get it though.
hey, I'm black.
Bojangles in
Uh,
Kinston, North Carolina. I love you. I
He
don't know if
said,
you're ever
I'm
gonna see
black.
this, but I
Wait a
love you.
second. He said, I'm black. All three of us are black.
Yeah, but I'm down south. I'm attracted to the fried chicken. But yeah, anyways, it's gonna wrap it up. If you've made it this far, oh yeah, this is like a 2 episode series. If anybody's asking, maybe 3, maybe 4. But if you've watched all episodes, I love you. Not a lot of people watch these, so I appreciate all the viewers I get. Beam, Zoe, thank you. You guys are cool.
Of
You guys
course,
are
you're
amazing.
cooler. You're amazing,
That's
Oh,
her.
crazy.
oh, for real. Dang, I didn't know that.
Hype him up.
Watch Black Girl Meets Pop Culture. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. KingXBeam. Yeah, so many things. Just go find it. Uh,
Yeah, man.
watch out for his
His
Den
funniest
Views
videos about Obi-Wan
podcast.
Kenobi.
Watch
There's
out
this
for Dinner Views
guy.
podcast featuring the Imperfect Podcast coming soon this
Yeah,
month when I edit it.
Hey.
yeah. I heard it's gonna be a good episode. Because I was in it.
That is
If I
Uh,
say so
crazy.
myself.
show up to Bible study. Show up to group therapy. Follow me on social media and such things of that nature. See ya.
Be breezy.